How y'all doing? Well, if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. This is part 2 of my 1,000-day-old items on my eBay store. So I decided I was going to start going through older listings, and that 1,000 days for sale is a pretty good point to actually take a critical look at stuff and decide, is it garbage? Did I price it wrong? Do I need to do something else? So this installment is going to be about these guys. So we have Skylander, which I'm going to pick the guy that didn't have green on him for the chroma key, but Skylander, and Disney Infinity. So these were two games that used a pad that plugged into a USB port, and the game would read which characters you put on it. And this is not new technology, but these were very popular games. When I first got into resale, all of a sudden I started running into this stuff in thrift shops, and I looked quick and I saw there was a market for this. This is good. This is a good pickup. I spent like $40 on a literal duffel bag of these. And then I found a giant bin of them for like 25. And then I read about the reason these had appeared in the thrift shops is because they discontinued service where you could still play this game offline and these would work, but the whole point of it was to play other people. So as soon as that happened, everybody offloaded their collections, and I got kind of caught in a beginner's mistake of buying something as the bubble burst. And here we are, over 1,000 days later. I have sold some of them. I think I'm at break even. I would definitely be at profit, but one of the only things I've ever lost in all this time, almost 2,000 sales, I had sent a giant thing of the Infinity like power stones in a book. It was $30, and I sent it to Florida during Hurricane Ian, I think, or Hurricane Sandy, one of the ones that was really bad. And the post office that it landed in didn't exist anymore. Come to find out. So the customer a month or two later mentioned me, and said, I never got that. And I looked, and like, yeah, that would be why. And it's just such a hassle to claim stuff. I didn't bother. So anyways, we're gonna look at these, see where the market's at on them, and kind of go through this bin, because I got a lot. And yeah, here we are in all our glory. I have Disney Infinity. We got about a dozen of those. About 15 Skylanders. Now, I have sold some. There are rarer ones, like different paint on some of them, but I got it at the worst possible time. So, as the supply increased and the demand dramatically decreased, what do we have? Right now, Disney Infinity, 46,000 for sale. And what is our sell-through? Not great. Less than 10%. But there are some that are moving. So it's a matter of, what are we going to do? Jack Sparrow? I got that guy. How many of them are for sale? I don't know. So we're going to have to go to my listings and figure out what on earth, what we're going to do about this. Because you can see real quick on sold, that's an anomaly. $10, that's weird. Two of the same guy for $9, okay. But most of these are going for loss. I got Mike Wisnowski. I am not going to sell him for a loss. That doesn't make any sense. I've got Sully. I'm not selling him to pay $2. Stupid. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do with these. So we're gonna go to my listings and see if there's any movement on any of these and assess from there. This is where my listings start. You can see I got my first batch of these in that duffel bag. And that was 1,061 days ago. Here's what I got left. So we have no views, no watchers on these. So the first thing I always look at, if I notice no views, no watchers, is did I accidentally set shipping to be the other person pays? Because that obviously dramatically increases the cost. No, I didn't. This is just legitimately nobody wants these. I got a watcher on Woody. I have these cards. I don't really understand what they go to. And then it's just a whole lot of nobody wanting to buy these. So I end up with 2 Iron Men. I dropped it to 7. I got 1 view. So a lot of these just nobody has ever wanted to pick up. So what are we going to do about it? I don't want to throw them out. But even at $7, I'm not selling. So my thought was if I could do bundles. Bundles might go somewhere. So we're going to go and check listings and see if anybody else is having success with bundles. So the language for this is adding lot of. That reduced our amount for sale because now people are selling bundles. So what is the price point on some of this? We got a lot of 10 and they're going to end up $2 each. And then we start seeing stuff like this. When you see posters, that your bubble is burst at that point. People are buying these in massive quantities at this point and just trying to sell them for a couple of bucks. If you bought 1,000 of these and made 50 cents on each one, provided you bought them at a small enough margin and didn't need that money, you could do that. Don't mind storing them. So buy 3, get 2 free. It's something I'm going against. A lot of 22. So if we're looking at the amounts, we are roughly $1 to $2 per. That makes that tough. So we also need to see, does this work? So 5,700 lots for sale. And the sell-through is slightly above 10%. So that's not promising either. So what are we going to do? 14 figures with a pad for $30. A lot of 3 is it's real select stuff that's moving or large scale stuff. Now I'm just looking to get out of this basically. So what could I do? 2, 4, 6, 8, and 11. There is a duplicate in there. If I did 12 for 20, could I do that? It's possible it would move. That'd be cheaper than everybody. But I also have to ship them. Chonkiest boy here, and that's probably all Sully. 3.4 ounces. So we're getting into poundage at that point. So really what I could do just to get out of it is do 15 plus shipping and just sell all of them. And that might be what I end up doing. and I'll do a lot of this. So let's just check out Skylander now. Skylander is actually worse. It's 80,000 for sale. They have different stuff. They did a little more, but we get more of these posters, more of these like large scale sellers. All these deals. Huge lots of these. So on 80,000, we have a sell-through of, actually that's not as bad, about 20%. Now, these are specific. These are rare. I did manage to sell a rare quite quickly. So they have variants. Variant paint jobs. I think I got this guy, don't I? Nope. So my rares went, and I got stuck with the commons. So that's a better sell-through. But let's do the same thing we did before. Skylander lot of. We go from 80 to 11. And sell-through on lots is actually not bad at all. Okay. About 30%. So tactically, I think that's what's going to make sense. I'm going to separate this into 2 lots. I'm going to charge shipping, and we're just going to go with it. We sell them, cool, but for now, having all these individual listings, nobody's looking at them. So that'll get us, I can't say it'll get us much profit. It'll definitely go over break even, and it'll get a bin out of the way. And that's the thing. This has been taking up a good sized bin for over 1,000 days. So we're going to reconfigure our listings, get 2 good lots going, and then we're going to have views on that and watchers on that and kind of get a fresh take on this. And hopefully we're not revisiting this in the next couple of months to find out that didn't work either. But we're going to give it a go. So if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.